In Nigeria, there exists an all too familiar story of unemployment and lack of any incentive whatsoever by the government to ease the crisis. President Mohamadou Bou-harry has even been quoted once saying that young people in Nigeria are in no position to complain about unemployment, and they're simply being lazy youths. This, however, couldn't be further from the truth, as Nigeria's youth population is one of the most spirited and entrepreneurial on the continent. The case here, therefore, all falls back to the Nigerian government's approach to the issue of unemployment. Hello and welcome to the New Tourist channel, where we give you the most educative information on everything in Africa. If you're new here, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get alerts whenever we post new amazing content. Today we are going to take a close look at some of the main causes of unemployment in Nigeria. We will also look at what can be done to resolve the crisis. Let us start with the crisis. Nigeria's inability to appeal to and engage a wide proportion of its population, especially the youths, through meaningful job creation, has a dire consequence in its tracks. The increasingly disastrous unemployment situation faced by graduates and those with advanced education in the country is in danger of getting out of hand and is also becoming a cause for widespread concern. According to the World Bank, Nigeria has an unemployment rate of 13.69% amongst Nigerians with advanced education, and this figure keeps rising. In fact, that percentage was from a 2016 analysis. A more recent analysis has unemployment amongst graduates with advanced degrees at 15.35%. This is no doubt a very worrisome situation faced by Nigerians. These bulging, youthful, and energetic young Nigerians are left stranded, with no means of earning a living for themselves and no means by which they can contribute to the growth of the nation. Each year, universities and polytechnics admit close to 2 million students and produce about 600,000 graduates who immediately become oriented into the gray reality, that is their country's unemployment crisis. Every year, the National Youth Service Corps mobilizes an average of over 60,000 young Nigerian graduates to partake in its mandatory one-year service to the country. This practice has been ongoing ever since the 22nd of May 1973 as an avenue for the country's rebuilding, reconciliation, and reconstruction after the Civil War. The current status of the seemingly saturated Nigerian labor market places so many graduates in an utter dilemma and reduces their chances of ever making it in a competitive environment designed to fail them. The International Labor Organization, the ILO, has linked the unemployment situation in Nigeria to the aspect of jobless growth, increased number of school graduates with no matching job opportunities, a moratorium on employment in many public and private sector institutions, as well as continued job losses in manufacturing and oil sectors. In addition, the ILO said the recent economic growth in Nigeria has not led to a decrease in the rapid reduction of poverty, nor has it led to the creation of sufficient jobs for the young and rapidly growing labor force. A detailed report by the Nigerian Youth Employment Action Plan, a subsidiary of the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports Development, published on August 2021, confirms that unemployment rates are increasing. According to the report, as of the second quarter of 2020, youth unemployment in the country stood at 35%. A further 28% of young people in the labor force were considered underemployed, that is, working less than 40 hours a week, and about 37% were working full-time. Further details on the report revealed that the COVID-19 pandemic has even further strained the already dire unemployment situation. With the current state of unemployment, many might be led to believe that the population is underqualified for certain skill sets required in the workspace of the 21st century. This is probably the most disheartening thing about the unemployment situation in Nigeria. According to the World Bank, approximately 60% of Nigerians are under 35 years old, meaning that Nigeria has a young, energetic working-age population who are perfectly capable of growing the country's economy if and only if the employment situation in the country was better. However, some young Nigerians are taking the bull by the horn by venturing into entrepreneurial rather than employment roles, as many youths with master's degrees are becoming influencers, fashion designers, and musicians. These are creating an environment where small businesses thrive. One key aspect that continues to plague Nigeria is the fact that since 2008, literacy levels have been on a steady rise of about 10% per year. Right now, it stands at about 60%, meaning that more Nigerians will keep coming into the employability pool, which will further exacerbate the current unemployment crisis. What are some of the possible solutions to the crisis? Nigeria needs to increase its spending on education. Many experts like Hamzat Lawal, founder and CEOs of Connected Development, the Code, who is also the founder of the Pan-African grassroots data-driven movement known as Follow the Money, has stated that a lack of adequate funding simply means students and lecturers have to make do with little or sometimes no funding to carry out learning, and this undoubtedly dissuades students from continuing their studies or actually learning any industry skills that employers are looking for. Nigeria's education budget is, as of now, lower than that recommended by UNESCO at 15 to 20% of the budget. So for a start, Nigeria can target reaching at least 20% of the budget for funding education. This effort might enable better educational research required for Nigerian students to gain industry skills that are essential to their future employment. A report that was published by the International Center for Investigative Reporting in late 2021 detailed that out of the national budget of $33.1 billion, the Nigerian government devoted only $1.89 billion towards education. An allocation of 5.68% is far from the figure recommended by the World Bank. Worse still, the budget of 2022 devoted toward education is said to be even lower at 4.35% of the budget. Another solution that must be highlighted is from a recruitment standpoint. The idea here is that the many young Nigerians all make the too familiar mistake of showing up for a job interview unprepared. They expect their degree to get them a job, failing to understand that a degree is just a pass in a workspace, and no one cares what you have on it as long as you can contribute effectively in growing the enterprise. This is also a very big problem for youths in many African countries. There needs to be a reorientation of the way students should see life after graduation. The course curriculum in higher institutions needs to be revised to become more industry-based, as well as promote industry-driven internships so as to be well-equipped for the respective industries involved. The Nigerian government must recognize that times are changing, and the world is transitioning into a digital economy. This means that there must be deliberate, all-round investment in education such that students in tertiary institutions are exposed to tools and knowledge existing in this digital age. There should be an improvement in the school curriculum and courses being offered that should match the relevant skills in demand and jobs that are available, not just in Nigeria, but all over the world. The Nigerian Youth Employment Action Plan for 2021 to 2024 outlines several action steps to curb graduate unemployment in the country, including remedial programs in key areas of deficit to assist at least 50% of unemployed graduates. Comprehensive educational reform, including through the introduction of entrepreneurship, innovation, ethics, and life and digital skills in school and training curricula, is also on the cards. Another step is to promote incentives for enterprises to hire new graduates, implement the national gender policy, especially relating to labor and employment and gender budgeting, as well as to increase advocacy about the need for increased funding for education. Overall, there is so much that is wrong with Nigeria's current employment level, and the government is mostly to blame for it. However, the system has unfortunately derailed some Nigerians. It has also managed to inspire a new generation of forward-thinking, passionate Nigerians who refuse to accept the status quo, refuse to concede their future to tyranny, and instead are making a proper name for themselves by enterprising and building iconic business ventures which have left the whole world talking. Nigeria's potential can only be matched by the capacity of its youths to fight, to hustle, and carve out a better life than they were presented with. This spirit of resolve and bravery is sure to increase Nigeria's dominance on the continent and even further into the future. What do you think about the high unemployment in Nigeria? What measures do you think could be put in place to solve Nigerians' high unemployment? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed watching this video, please don't forget to leave a like and also subscribe to our community of touristers so as not to miss out on any future updates. Thanks for watching, and see you in another video.